Gracias por estar aquí. Salen nuevas fotos. Identifican al hombre que tiroteó al CEO de UnitedHealth. Vamos a estar viendo este resumen de noticias. Tiroteo del CEO de UnitedHealthcare. La policía parece estar acercándose a la identidad del tirador, dicen las fuentes. Veremos a Fox y otros medios también hablando de esto a continuación. J. Berker informó que la policía parece estar acercando a la identidad del sospechoso buscado en el tiroteo fatal del CEO de UnitedHealthcare, Brian Thompson, dice fuentes de ABC News. La policía de la ciudad de New York parece estar acercándose a la unidad a una identidad del sospechoso buscado en el tiroteo del fatal del CEO del UnitedHealthcare, Brian Thompson, dijeron fuentes de ABC News. La policía de New York publicó nuevas fotos del sospechoso sin máscara el jueves, aparentemente de cuando se alojaba en el Hyatt New York City Hotel en el Upper West Side de New York. Parece que el sospechoso compartió una habitación en el cuarto piso de otros dos hombres, según fuentes policiales. Esta sería la foto del sospechoso. El presunto tirador se registró en el albergue del Upper West Side utilizando una licencia de New Jersey que no es suya, dijeron fuentes policiales a ABC News. Los detectives encontraron el nombre y descubrieron que no se parecía a ninguna foto conocida del sospechoso u otras pruebas acumuladas hasta ahora, dijeron las fuentes. Por separado, las imágenes de vigilancia revisadas por la policía muestran a alguien que parece ser el sospechoso saliendo del metro antes del tiroteo en la estación que vamos a ver más adelante, en la estación 57, a solo una cuadra de la escena del tiroteo. El sospechoso fue visto en imágenes de vigilancia alrededor de las 5 a.m. el miércoles fuera del albergue sosteniendo lo que parecía ser una batería de bicicleta electrónica. La policía está trabajando para determinar si el sospechoso proporcionó la bicicleta y tomó el metro hasta la escena del tiroteo. Negar, defender y deponer fueron escritos en las rondas en vivo. Los casquillos descubiertos en la escena del tiroteo del miércoles por la mañana que los detectives interpretaron o interpretan como una posible mensaje del sospechoso. Vamos a ver ahora a ABC y a Fox hablando del mismo tema. Va a haber subtítulos en pantalla. Espérese que yo ahorita vi que estaban como muy grandes los subtítulos. Déjame ver si lo puedo poner un poquito más pequeño. Vamos a ponerlo a 150. Ahí está bien. Vamos a escuchar.
With the assassination of that UnitedHealthcare CEO, and that hostel that police have been searching is on Amsterdam Avenue. Police believe the killer checked into it using a New Jersey license that isn't his. Investigators released new images of the suspect, apparently captured at that hostel, where you can clearly see the suspect's face.
Meanwhile, new video just in shows someone who appears to be the suspect exiting the subway prior to the shooting at the 57th Street station yesterday.
As for the attack itself, we're learning new information about the weapon that was used and a potential connection to a gun shop in Connecticut.
Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett live on the Upper West Side with the very latest developments in this case. NJ.
Yeah, and that's right, Dave. That new video you referenced appears to show the suspect coming out of the subway a block or so from the hotel about half an hour before the murder. So yes, surveillance images are now the cornerstone of this investigation, the best of all of them coming from this hostel on the Upper West Side.
We didn't recognize him. We just thought that's a bit scary to be in a hostel with someone like that, but yeah.
Guests at the hostel couldn't place the face, the smiling face of the man now wanted for the brazen, cold-blooded murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Thompson was walking to an investor conference at the Hilton yesterday when the killer stepped out of the shadows and opened fire. 10 seconds later, Thompson would lay dying on the sidewalk and the gunman would be gone. He would be spotted on an e-bike heading into Central Park and later riding down a side street on the Upper West Side. Using a series of surveillance images, police traced his movements to the hostel on Amsterdam Avenue. By the time they searched his room, he was gone. But their painstaking work paid off with clear images of the killer's face. Former NYPD Chief of Detectives Robert Boyce.
So once you get him in a direction, you just play leapfrog with video, and you just track him like a scent hound, almost only using video. And you go all the way up into Central Park.
Another clue is the suspect's weapon, now believed to be what's known as a B&T Station 6, a unique 9mm bolt-action handgun, possibly purchased at a gun shop in Connecticut.
And these things are complicated to use. It is our belief that he is well accustomed with it. He knows how to use it, and he has some training in regards to shooting, just by his stance, by the ability to clear the gun, and then move forward on the target.
What's more, forensics teams found engravings on the shell casings and live rounds recovered at the scene, with the words deny, defend, and depose, startlingly similar to the title of this book written on the health insurance industry, published 14 years ago by a Rutgers law professor, which hints at a possible motive for the murder.
I'll tell you, NJ, this is all motive is secondary to apprehension right now. Getting him in is the important thing. So speculation on motive is important, but right now it's secondary to the apprehension, which they're moving very quickly.
Well, criminals often slip up. The killer appears to have made a number of mistakes in this case. Yes, he is still at least one step ahead of police, but probably not for long.
Bueno, imagínense, vamos a ver qué reporta Fox del mismo tema.
We're getting brand new photos of the suspected gunman behind the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Now, you can see the suspect on your screen right now, to the left of your screen, without a mask and smiling. To the right, a little bit more of his facial features from the lower half. And at this hour, the manhunt is still actively underway, and investigators are still trying to piece together a possible motive. And now a new report revealing that chilling messages were discovered on the bullet casings found at the scene. Alexis McAdams has the latest, has been following this minute one. Alexis, what have we been learning?
Hey, Emily. Well, we know, right, from being around here right near Fox News headquarters, there are lots of cameras here in Midtown Manhattan. And there were also some cameras nearby in the Upper West Side where I'm told by a police source those new videos and photos were taken. So I want to pull them up there on your screen because you can really see this guy's face now. The New York Post is reporting that those photos were taken at a nearby hostel where they believe this gunman was staying. As you mentioned, he's got that green jacket on and the black mask pulled down. That matches what he was wearing the morning of the shooting just yesterday when he killed this father of two and husband. That was exactly the jacket. And then you can see him there, too, where the hood's pulled down a little bit and he's got a backpack on. Back out here live, there's new pieces of evidence that just keep rolling in. So for everyone watching at home that weren't sure if they were going to be able to track this killer down, they're getting pretty close to it from what we're hearing on the ground because they have his face. And then they also have some DNA evidence that they're working on to process, we're told by two police sources. But one of the things, Emily, that's new is that there were some etched in markings and messages on those bullets that were found here at the Hilton behind me. Pull those up there. That's deny, depose, and defend. Those were the words that they're saying from the police department they found on the shell casings left behind. The words are similar to a title of a book that condemns the insurance business. The book is called Delay, Deny, and Defend, so it's a little bit different, but you kind of get the gist there. It was written back in 2010 and just rips the insurance industry for their lack of coverage for many Americans. The shooting was caught on camera. That was the first initial evidence they had in the case. You can see the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, walking there. Then he shot. We freeze it, but he was actually hit in the leg. He kind of turned around and looked at that gunman. The guy didn't stop shooting. He shot him again, this time in the chest. We were told he was waiting there for Brian Thompson. I want to pull up some new other photos that we've been getting into the newsroom. This is the gunman there for anyone watching at home that might recognize him. He was at a Starbucks before he went to this shooting scene. We were told he bought a drink, threw something out in the trash, and that's what they're using right now to try and go through that evidence to track him down. Brian Thompson led one of the biggest health insurers in the country. He worked for UnitedHealthcare for about 20 years. The 50-year-old was a dad of 2 young boys who are in high school out in Minneapolis area, and he was also a husband. Thompson was only supposed to be here in New York for a couple of days because he was supposed to speak at this Investors Day conference at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown, and his visit ended here with his death. And back out here live, you just gotta think too for a
Si me preguntan a mí, no hay dudas de que esto fue orquestado. Como ustedes ya vieron, este señor evidentemente tiene entrenamientos en armas. No es coincidencia que haya sido específicamente esa, mas él saber cómo irse, compran el arma, según lo que se ha investigado ahora, compra el arma en Connecticut, pero tiene una licencia de New Jersey, entonces viene en el tren y se va en una bicicleta electrónica, sabía dónde le iba a estar en cualquier momento. Nadie puede negar que esto fue orquestado. Y las investigaciones ahora van a arrojar específicamente a qué se debería esto. Porque el que él haya puesto este título de este libro puede que sea una distracción. Vamos a mantenernos expectante. Dime tú, ¿a qué tú crees que se debe que le hayan quitado la vida? Te leo en comentarios. Hola, mi nombre es John Levy, analista político y comunicador. Muchísimas gracias por llegar al final de este contenido. Recuerda suscribirte, comentar y compartir, y sobre todo activar la campanita de notificaciones para que te llegue cada vez que subimos un video. Leemos todos los comentarios y sobre todo recuerda ampliar estas y otras informaciones en mi página web johnlevy.com, las noticias como son. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, donde quiera que esté. Un abrazo grande y hasta pronto.